Hello everybody, it is Michael here from My Retirement Trading, and today we're going to talk about my goal of achieving $150,000 a year worth of income from passive income investing using covered call ETFs and how long I think that could possibly take. But before I get into this, I must state that this is not financial advice or a recommendation, and it is for entertainment purposes only. So let's get into it. I've usually been an index fund investor, usually things like the S&P 500, and this strategy has grown my portfolio tremendously, and I've been very happy with it. But now that I'm 54 years old and I'm getting closer and closer to retirement, that I was looking for something a little bit different. And at one time, I used to sell my own options for income, and I would buy an ETF or a stock, and I would sell a covered call on them, and I would usually get about 1% a month out of these. And so that's like 12% a year. But these days, they got funds that do this for you. They do the work for you. So I don't have to sit there and like look at charts all the time, watch the computer all the time, monitor the option positions, etc. I let professionals do this for me. And so that's the reason why in recent times I have become a big fan of passive income investing using covered call ETFs. And a lot of these are index based, and I got several different ones and they all use different strategies. And I got a few single stock ones, and then I've got some that are even involved in the Bitcoin space. And so they all pay different, but some of them pay weekly and some of them pay monthly. Well, my monthly payers, they seem to be a little bit more solid as far as like with the NAV stability and things like that. And they're in usually index based. And my monthly payers are, except for the ones that are like in Bitcoin. And then my weekly payers, they're a little bit more volatile, but they pay a lot more distribution rate. My goal is to have $150,000 a year in annual income. And right now, in my portfolio, the way I have it set up, I have $67,331.98. And according to this, off the Blossom social.com insights, it looks like it's going to be 13 months before I reach my goal. And that's the way I have it set up right now. So if I was to change some things, it could probably be even faster. But the way I have it set up right now is $150,000 projected in about 13 months. And so let's look at some of what I have. Well, we head over to my cash account, everything except for the crypto funds. And I've got some weekly and monthly payers in here. And you see these gaps between the weeks, these usually signify monthly payers. And then when they're right on top of each other, usually that's the weekly payers. But anyway, my first one, and this is just my covered call or option-based portfolio for passive income investing. My largest position is QQQI by NEOS funds, and it's Nasdaq based. And I received this past month $998.13, and that's on $73,184.86 of original investment. And then my next position I have here is SPYI by NEOS, and it's S&P 500 based. And I received $432.93 on this past month, and that was on a $36,000, $604.73 investment. So there's that. And then TDAQ is a new position by Tap Alpha. I haven't received a payment yet, but I did add it to my spreadsheet. And then The next one is TSPY by Tap Alpha, and it's a 0 days to expiration covered call strategy on the S&P 500, and I received $207 this past month, and my original investment in that was it looks like it's showing 17,187, but I added some recently to that, so that's probably not really accurate. But anyway, T-SPY, it's an S&P 500 based, and then I've got GPIQ by Goldman Sachs, and it's Nasdaq based. It's a covered call strategy, and I received $227.34 this past month, and that's on $23,270.40 of original investment. And GPIX, I received $184.62, and this is by Goldman Sachs, and it's S&P 500 based. And my original investment in that was $23,670.85. And then this QDVO, it's a monthly payer, but it's not really based on, I don't believe it's really based on the S&P or the NASDAQ. I believe they just actually pick the funds. So I'm not going to talk too much about that because I'm not 100% sure on this one. Then I got these weekly pairs. I got ULTY by YieldMax, and I just recently made a video about this on how possibly that it could pay my car payment. And this amount right here, this $45 paid weekly, it was on, it looks like about $2,697.53 worth of investment. But since then, I've upped it up where I've got over 2,000 shares, and my original now is $10,902.21. So I'm looking forward to some lot larger weekly payments now. And then YMAX is by YieldMax, and it's a fund of funds. And I received $8.82, but I've only got $1,315.90 of original investment. And then another one that I have is this NVII by Rex Shares, and it's based on Nvidia. And last week it paid me $47.22, and that's based on an investment of $6,809.73. And then this Main Street Capital, I sold it, and I bought some more TDAQ, TSPY, and more ULTY and YBTC, which is not on this sheet. Well, this is my crypto part of my covered call portfolio or option-based ETFs and my passive income investing portfolio. And I've got 4 positions right now. I had Misty, but I sold it by YieldMax. But the first position is YETH by Roundhill, and it's Ethereum based. And I received $57.51 this past week, and that is on $3,200.48 of original investment. And then the next one is YBTC by Roundhill, and it's Bitcoin based, and I received $205.20, and that's on a $20,103.88 original investment. But that's these are every week. So, 50 weeks times that's, $10,000. So I'm really enjoying these because these seem to pay a lot. And then this is my only monthly payer in my crypto covered call portfolio, and it's by Neos Funds. It's based on Bitcoin. And I received $275.94 for a month. And that's based on $12,583.50 of original investment. And the last one is XBTY by Granite Shares, and it's based on Bitcoin. It's some kind of option strategy. It may be covered call, but I'm not sure. So what did it say? It's option strategy. And it paid $45.19, and it is based on $2,440.51 of original investment. So I've really been enjoying these. I mean, especially like something like this YBTC, $200 a week times 50 weeks in a year. That's like 10 grand if it worked out like that. And my original investments is barely $20,000, like $20,103.88. So that's why I'm a big fan of these. Well, in conclusion, I showed that I could possibly have $150,000 worth of annual income in 13 months, according to the BlossomSocial.com insights, which I'm a member of. It's a great website to be a part of, so check it out. And I'll have my link below to my portfolio if you want to see exactly what I have. And anyway, so $150,000 in 13 months. And right now it's about $67,000 annually, the way it's set up. But each month that goes by, it grows larger and larger. And so 13 months is the projection. And so I'm excited about that. And I may change some things to make it even faster. But anyway, so I just wanted to point that out, what's possible. And none of this is financial advice or a recommendation for sure. This is what Michael's doing. And if you have any suggestions or comments, please drop them below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. And on that note, until next time, I will catch you all later.